Welcome to DocSpot YouTube channel. Today we have a very interesting guest with us at DocSpot. His name is Inder Sandhu, and Inder now lives in Chandigarh. He also works with the city authorities to understand rabies better and how can we decrease the rabies cases, how can we educate people around rabies. So how did this happen to you? I mean, being an engineer and then an MBA and then you were working for 17 years and then
So, thank you first of all for the introduction. But what really happened was I had a dog that I was taking care of, kind of foisted on me. And as he grew older, I started volunteering more and more at a shelter where I used to bring some puppies home on a weekend. So what they say is when your dog gets older, you should get him a puppy. It keeps him younger for longer. Mm-hmm. So I used to do that. I used to foster some puppies over the weekend. And just because of that, I started going to the shelter more and more and learning about what some of the problems with the dogs there are in the US, what their challenges are. So it kept on getting me more and more interested in animals. And as it is, I've been an animal lover all my life. But at some point, you realize that animals and helping them is more interesting to you than your job really is. So I started doing cruelty investigations for the state of Texas as a volunteer. And then once you start doing cruelty investigations, you see a lot of cruelty that's meted out to a lot of animals. You realize that none of those facilities are available in India. We don't have animal control in India, whereas we have the most number of stray animals anywhere in the world. So I figured that the only way you could help your country and help your animals in your country back is trying to bring the idea of having animal control in India. So that's why I became an animal control officer. And while I was doing animal control, I realized that the primary purpose of animal control is to reduce human-animal conflict, and there's a lot of it in India. So what I learned is how have they been able to control rabies in the US? They virtually eliminated rabies all over the world except in India. How were they able to do it? And I learned that from working with the LRCA, which is the local rabies control authority, and as an animal control officer. And that's why I wanted to bring that to India. That was the hope. So that changed my career path.
So how many years have you been in India now?
4 years.
4 years now? Okay. And what is the difference do you see, right? Like when you came 4 years back, the life then and the life now?
So the human-animal conflict is such a big issue that we have something like an animal control officer in India, which is the Animal Welfare Board of India assigns officers. The only problem is they're honorary positions. So they only get to work on weekends. There's no money. So there's no career in animal welfare as an animal control officer in India. Mm-hmm. And that is what is necessary. So ever since then, I've been trying to get the municipality or states to have animal control. Still not happened. They like the idea of creating awareness for rabies. So we do a lot of rabies awareness both at the place where you get the shots and in schools and colleges. But a mass scale change will only happen once you have animal control officers, which is assigned by the municipal corporation of every city or funded by a private organization.
What are related myths which you might have discovered around while working with people, animals and rabies?
So the number one reason for human-animal conflict in India, to tell you the truth, is rabies and the myth around rabies. There's so much misinformation about rabies in India. The facts are, we are the highest instance of rabies anywhere in the world is in India. We have 2,500 deaths every year because of rabies, which is the highest anywhere else in the world. The US, they've had 3 deaths in the last 25 years. Oh. So that tells you the difference between where we are. Mm-hmm. Now we do have a lot more stray animals, but there are myths associated with rabies which have been cemented over the years through history, through people scaring each other. Movies are a big, Bollywood is this big thing about pagal kutte ne kaata hai tere ko, ya pet mein 14 injection lagenge. All of those are of course lies. Mm-hmm. But the fear is so big that, like you said, the most common fear, the most common reason for human-animal conflict is the misunderstanding of rabies. The biggest issue that I have seen is the fact that only 1% of dogs in India actually have rabies. Mm-hmm. So what happens is, rabies is a virus that attacks our brain, human, animal, just like you said, rat, any warm-blooded animal can get it. Mm-hmm. Cows are the second most instance. Mm-hmm. Horses are a big instance. The highest instance anywhere in the world of rabies is in bats. Mm-hmm. Vampire bats, unfortunately or fortunately, we don't have any vampire bats in India. All we have are fruit bats. So the most common cause of rabies in India is the dog. So when the virus attacks a brain, the virus through a brain would come to your saliva.
Okay.
When it comes into your saliva is what we say is when a human is shedding the virus or the dog is shedding the virus.
Okay.
Once the virus is in their saliva, they cannot survive for more than 10 days.
Okay.
Doesn't matter if they bite anybody or don't bite anybody. So if a dog has bitten you, then and if he had rabies, he has a maximum of 10 days to live.
Right.
It's usually 7 days, but we usually say 10 days just because we're giving it a packing factor there. Usually the dog will die within 2 or 3 days, but 10 days is the maximum. So what we have to do is we have to watch the animal for 10 days. If in the 10 days he dies, then you get the rabies shot. If he doesn't die in the 10 days, you do not need the shot.
Yeah.
Now that is one thing that people don't understand.
Yeah.
So rabies is a disease, it's a little complicated, it's a little long. What happens is, wherever you're bitten, that is the point of entry of the virus.
Right.
Now usually a dog, especially a stray dog, will bite you on your hand or your foot.
Yeah.
Once the virus, the virus has entered through the saliva in your bloodstream, so it has to be an actual cut. If it's a scratch and they didn't break the skin, you can't get rabies. If it's a lick, you cannot get rabies,
okay,
unless it enters your bloodstream, and then it starts traveling towards your brain. It's a very slow moving virus that travels at the rate of about 5 centimeters a week.
Oh. Okay.
So depending upon how tall you are, how long your arms are, it's going to take that much time for the virus to travel to your brain. If it's on your leg or your foot, then it's going to take even longer. So anywhere in those, and it usually takes, depending upon if you're an average human about 6 feet tall, it takes anywhere between 3 or 4 months for that virus to travel to your brain. Anywhere in between those 3 or 4 months, you can get the shots and you're protected. But it's not the first day. But the myth is so big that the moment you get bitten, somebody in your family or somebody in the street is going to say, "Aaj hi jao, टीका लगा के आओ, नहीं तो आपको rabies हो जाएगा."
Yeah.
And that fear is the reason why we all rush.
Right.
There's one other reason why that fear exists. If you look at the shot, the rabies vial, the anti-rabies shot, it says on it that you have to get shots on day 0,
right,
3, 7 and 28.
Right.
Now day 0 doesn't mean the day of the bite. Just like if you were getting a polio shot, right? It says day 0, then 6 months later give them the second drop. Day 0 doesn't mean the day the baby was born.
Right.
Day 0 is when whatever that time period was. So day 0 is a reference for day 3.
Okay.
आज अगर एक shot लगाया, that is day 0. अगर आपने परसों एक shot लगाया, then परसों becomes day 0.
Okay.
Right? So it's just a reference, but people have such a misunderstanding, such a fear, that they immediately go. So like I said, it takes anywhere in those 3 or 4 months, you can get the shots, but you have to watch the dog only for 10 days.
Yeah, and in 10 days that virus cannot travel to your brain.
It cannot travel to your brain anyway.
If a dog bites near the neck or near the head, then you would say that they should immediately go to the doctor.
Absolutely.
And,
Absolutely. If a dog licks you on your face, that's why you should never lick a dog.
Right.
You know, if you let a dog kiss you should only let your dog kiss you.
Right.
Because if he's got rabies and he's just licked you on your mouth,
right,
that's the shortest distance to your brain.
Right.
If he bites you on your neck, go get the shots right away. Don't even wait for the 10 days, because 10 days is enough for that virus. Then you have to presume that he has rabies, even if he doesn't.
Okay. What is to do with tetanus? I mean, I see so many people going to the doctor, and the doctor may not have rabies vaccine or that shot available immediately, and then he will say tetanus laga deta hu. What is
tetanus is a completely different disease, and it's a different shot altogether. Tetanus you get from the ground. So tetanus is one of those shots, especially as a young boy, young girl, you should protect your children against tetanus anyway. So if they, because they keep on running and get scratches and all that. So tetanus is not a bad shot to get.
Okay.
Even if a dog bites you, if he says tetanus ka shot laga do, it's a protection against a different disease.
Okay. But it is not necessary that a dog bites and dog can give you tetanus.
No, dog can't give you tetanus.
Is there any change in Chandigarh you have seen among people while you have been educating? Is there a number drop or?
No, not a number drop in the vaccination cases, primarily because we see about 30 cases coming to Chandigarh a day. And what our job is to educate them about rabies and not fear. So what usually happens is people are really scared when they come in. Nobody talks to them nicely and explains rabies to them. Nobody tells them that all you have to do is watch them for 10 days. They probably still want the shots because they're so afraid. My problem with that is we're over vaccinating people.
Yeah, this is wrong.
Which is definitely wrong. Plus, a rabies shot takes about 1,300 rupees to manufacture.
Right.
Because of the rebates that the government gives to these manufacturers, they sell it for about 300 rupees. Now, if you're getting 4 shots, that's 5,200 rupees. The government, it still costs the government 5,200 rupees to give. Something for which they didn't need to give any shot at all.
Right.
So we are throwing money just based on this fear of rabies, and we're still not able to control rabies.
So what is the appeal to the authorities or the government? What would you ideally like?
What we want to do is we want to vaccinate every animal.
Right.
Now so Mission Rabies is doing this in Goa. They've vaccinated 70% of all stray dogs in Goa. Once you get 70% of the population, you can call it rabies free. So Goa, for all intents and purposes, is rabies free.
Wow. Okay.
The only thing is new puppies that are born, are they upkeeping and giving them the rabies shots as well? So Mission Rabies' job is over.
Okay.
They've made it rabies free, and the reason why Goa is important is because it's a tourist place.
Yeah.
Now you can't expect Mission Rabies to do this everywhere.
Right.
In Chandigarh, what the municipal corporation does is they will go and vaccinate stray dogs every Saturday. Just randomly pick up dogs and vaccinate. Every municipality needs to do that. So you get to the source of the disease, don't vaccinate the symptom.
While we were talking about rabies, I also understand you do a lot of other things in Chandigarh. Tell us more about, what are things which you are involved with.
So everything that we do, everything that PDU's People is our NGO, everything that we do is to reduce human-animal conflict. And the number one cause, so we do cruelty investigations. I'm an Animal Welfare Board of India. I'm an animal welfare officer, a district animal welfare officer. So we do cruelty cases as well, cruelty investigation. But what we're trying to do to reduce human-animal conflict is to create a system of humane education within schools and colleges. The adults we've already lost in terms of they've already made up their mind if they're animal lovers or haters. It's the children we can't change, because this is prevention. Prevention is definitely better than cure. By having a shelter or a hospital, your approach is curative. So we do a lot of humane education and try to create a generation of animal lovers or people who are more tolerant towards animal to reduce human-animal conflict.
Are you also associated with some shelters?
Yes. So what we do is we do rescue as well. You can't really not do rescue. So we have a program that we run, which is a street foster program, where we vaccinate puppies for free against parvo and distemper. We also get them spayed and neutered. So that's what we do. So the number of dogs, of course, have gone up because there are so many puppies, but also the adoption rates have gone up.
Okay.
Like I said, not as much as we want to. We want every puppy to be adopted, so they're not on the street anymore.
Right. Okay. You're also an author of a book.
It's Between the Knife and the Sock. So my book is essentially my journey of how an animal, that was my dog Speed, how he changed my life from being a normal animal lover who's focused upon just his dog and his world. So it's just a journey of how you can hold an animal's paw and it can change your life completely from being self-centered like I was.
Is that book available on Amazon?
It is, yes.
Okay, so we can go and buy them.
Absolutely.
We'll put a link down there so that people can go and read more about it. So I've learned a lot from animals while living with them, right? What is that one thing which you would say is the most important thing which you have learned from animals?
From animals, the most important thing I've learned from animals is to live in the moment. The past is gone. You can hurt an animal, you can hit him as much as you want. Yes, they get fearful and they act based on that, but the next person who comes and shows them affection, they'll completely wear their heart on their sleeve, if you want to call it that. So the past is forgotten. The future they don't care about. They know how to live in the moment. Whereas humans, we either live in the past or we hope and live in the future. We completely miss our today.
Wow, very nice. It was really nice having you here in our office.
Thank you.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.